Do you think AI will be the next big philosopher?
No. I'll tell you why. At least AI in its current form. It's a kind of cop-out answer. So one of the things that I always love doing with students is I get them to think about the way in which, say, a large language model or generative AI like ChatGPT thinks about things. And I say thinks in the very loose sense here. Because if you ask ChatGPT, say, to provide you with an analysis of the concept of intersectionality, for just example, that's how woke I am. The first thing that comes into my head is intersectionality. So you ask ChatGPT to do that. It will give you a pretty decent, generic, but ultimately I would say superficial response. Like it would get, if you had that as a piece of student work, probably get 55 or a 58. So, mid to high 2.2. So it's perfectly passable, but not great. What I then get the students to do is to engage in kind of a reflective diary writing exercise. So I get students always to think of themselves as not just you go into a lecture or a seminar and then you absorb facts, but you're constantly engaging in content, constantly reflecting on what you learned as a youngster, what you're learning now, how you're finding dissonances, how you're finding points of convergence, how you have a vocabulary that challenges previous vocabularies or have a vocabulary that makes sense of old concepts in new ways, all those kinds of things. And when you start getting ChatGPT, you ask ChatGPT to engage in reflective work, it can't do it. It can't do it. It doesn't have the discursive architecture to engage in reflective thinking. And that means, unless it will be in a position to develop reflexivity, it can never be a philosopher.